Hi everybody, I'm Zilla Blitz, and welcome to another episode of American Truck Simulator. Today we're going to check out Wyoming again, our second drive in Wyoming. We're going to go up and check out Devils Tower. And rather than just drive there, I was thinking this afternoon, I thought, what better way to enjoy it than have some Devils Tower Trivia on the way? So let's play Devils Tower Trivia. Now, if you haven't played one of our trivia episodes before, what we're going to do is on the way up, we're going to ask 6 questions about Devils Tower, whatever the topic might be. In this case, of course, Devils Tower. And you just basically see how many of these you can get right. That's it. It's very, very simple. So we're going to get underway. We've already signed up for an order, a trailer full of tableware that we're going to be taking from Casper, where we last left off, up to Gilette. And then from Gilette, I think it's about... looks like we might just do a little bit of free driving to get up to where Devil's Tower is. I'm pretty sure I know where it is. If I've got it wrong, well, we'll sort it out once we get there and stuff. So we've got about, let's see, a 13-minute drive here till we pick up our trailer, and I'll see you when we're there. And then we'll start our trivia right away and get going here. So here we are. Here's our trailer at Sell Goods. We're just going to back up, grab this, and we'll be on our way. Now, we might need to sleep on the way, in which case I'll probably do the sleep twice thing, because I do want to get to Devil's Tower when there's daylight. And right now it's about 12 in the afternoon. Now, the tracker says the time tracker here says we have enough time to be able to make it there, but I'm not so sure that's the case. All right, let's take a look at our tableware just before we get going here. Nice, straight up trailer. It should be rather straightforward ride here, I think. Looks like we're going to cut and come at Gilette from the south, so we will get on the road here, and as soon as we get through town, once we get in the highway, we're going to start asking our questions, because this is kind of a short drive, although I think we're still going to have to drive from our drop-off point out to Devil's Tower, too, so we'll make it all work out. All right, we're going to get started. We're going right out onto the highway now, so this is a pretty quick exit. We just pulled right out from the parking lot and jumped right onto the highway here. Question number 1 about Devil's Tower. I'll show a picture of it in case you're not familiar with it, but we're going to see it in the game too when we get to the end of the ride. Most obvious question we need to ask is, how tall is Devil's Tower? Now, this is from the base of the tower to the summit, not from elevation above sea level. 4 choices here. A, 867 feet, which is 264 meters. B, 510 feet, which is 155 meters. C, 1,403 feet, which is 428 meters, or D, 2,891 feet, 881 meters. How tall from the base to the summit is Devil's Tower? Take your guess, and now we're going to ask question 2, then we're going to come back and give the answers for 1 and 2, and there's 6 questions altogether. Let's go to question number 2. How was Devil's Tower formed? Is it A, volcanic eruption approximately 5 million years ago? B, an igneous intrusion from about 50 million years ago? And that apparently is when the some molten rock, kind of molten lava, erupts underneath the ground, and then the surface rock around there wears itself away. C, aliens created it out of Legos and then melted it with lasers. And D, it's a Vitupian esker, which is a rare glacial compression that forms when there is quick, relatively kind of in glacial terms, like 2,000 years, retraction of a glacier. There are only 7 in the United States. So which of those 4 things do you think is how Devil's Tower was formed? Now, if you need to hear them again, we'll play them again. I'm not going to repeat them because it's hard enough to drive without trying to drive and read. Don't do this at home. And we'll be back momentarily to give our answers here. We've got a nice day, looks like. It's about 12:30 in the afternoon on Wednesday afternoon. Whoa. Wandering all over. We are in the big, wide open spaces of Wyoming. Almost to the eastern edge of the state, too. All right, we'll be back in a sec. All righty. Have you got your answers? The question number 1 was, how tall is Devil's Tower? 867 feet, 510 feet, 1,403 feet, or 2,891 feet. Which did you guess? The correct answer is, drumroll please, A, 867 feet. It's 264 meters tall, roughly 2.5 football pitches high. Now it is over 5,000 feet above sea level, about 5,112 feet above sea level. The actual tower itself is under 1,000 feet. All right. Second question, how is Devil's Tower formed? Volcanic eruption, igneous intrusion, aliens created it, or a Vitupian esker? The answer is, whoops, I'm going too fast here. Slow down. Answer is B. It's an igneous intrusion. So basically there was hot molten lava that bubbled up underneath the surface of the Earth. And that was about 50 million years ago. And then about 5 to 10 million years ago, the whole sedentary rock around it eroded and washed away kind of thing, leaving that tower that was there behind. So there you go. It was not created by aliens. Hope nobody guessed that one. So there are 2 questions. How are you doing so far? We'll go to question number 3 as soon as we get through this light. All right, we're back on the road here. Let's go to question number 3. It's kind of embarrassing, I must say, that this truck has so little pickup that when we get a green light on a left turn, we almost get a red light violation because we can't get through it fast enough. But we're going to upgrade this truck. We'll get there. All right, question number 3, another obvious question. How did Devil's Tower, well, obviously question to ask. How did Devil's Tower get its name? A, an 1875 scientific expedition wrote that Native Americans called the tower Bad God's Tower. The expedition translated that into Devil's Tower. B, at the National Monument ceremony in 1906, President Theodore Roosevelt changed the name because of a massive storm that nearly wrecked the ceremony and forced its delay for several days. Sorry, I'm trying to read and drive at the same time. It's always a good idea. So that's why it's taken a little bit here. C, no one knows how it got its name. Yeah. Or D, a U.S. infantry battalion nicknamed Howe's Devils camped at the base of the towers for 2 years during the 1870s while efforts to settle the region were underway. They were there so long that everybody just started calling it Devil's Tower, and that's how it's got its name. All right, so there is question number 3. Let's go to question number 4. Question number 4. Aha! How many people climb Devil's Tower every year? A, 0. It is a sacred Native American area, so climbing is forbidden. B, 15,000. It is an easy day hike. C, 100 group permits are given every year, so approximately 500 people can climb a year. Or D, 5 to 6,000. Ha! Take your best guess and think about it, mull over it a little bit. We'll be back in a moment with our answers to questions 3 and 4. All right, so we're back with answers to questions 3 and 4. Our first question was, how did Devil's Tower get its name? Was it an 1875 scientific expedition? Was it at the national naming ceremony where Theodore Roosevelt impromptu changed the name because he was furious about how there was such a big storm going on? Hope this car doesn't hit us, by the way. Oh, good, didn't. Okay. Was it C, no one knows, or D, a U.S. infantry battalion named Howe's Devils were camped at the base of the tower for a couple of years in the 1870s? Answer is A, 1875 scientific expedition. It's actually kind of interesting. It says the names, I'm going to try to read this. It's a little bit long. Story time for a second, so just kind of sit back and enjoy the views. The name Devil's Tower originated during an 1875 scientific expedition. The Army commander in charge of the military escort, Colonel Richard Dodge, wrote that the Indians called the shaft Bad God's Tower, which he modified to Devil's Tower. The earliest official maps of the area label the formation as Bear Lodge, which is a direct translation of the Lakota name Mato Tipila. Other American Indian names, Native American names, include Bear's Teepee, home of the bear, Tree Rock, and Great Greyhorn. Some contend that Colonel Dodge simply got a bad translation of the indigenous name. Others say it was an intentional renaming. The truth is lost to history. And our next question, number D, is how many people climb Devil's Tower every year? The answer is D. 5,000 to 6,000 people climb it every year. It is incredibly popular. climbing destination. And it started in 1893, where there was two people put a stake ladder all the way up to the top. And that ladder stayed there all the way until the 1920s before it kind of fell apart. And even now, recently, they rebuilt the top part of that stake ladder, although the bottom part has completely fallen off. So it's got there. 1937 was the first time it was free climbed. It generally takes people 4 to 6 hours to climb up and about an hour to 2 hours to climb back down. And in January, there is a voluntary shutdown of the climbing because over 27 Native American tribes make mention of the tower as part of their spiritual history, so they do not like that people climb it. Out of respect for Native American tribes, climbers are asked to voluntarily not climb during the month of June, and most climbers, the climbing numbers are very low during that month. So there you go. Cool. We'll be back momentarily. Actually, we're almost 17 minutes away from our delivery. This must be Gilette up ahead. So we'll drop this off, and then we'll go up and check out Devil's Tower, and on the way, I think we'll probably just free drive it. On the way to Devil's Tower, we'll ask the last 2 trivia questions. All right, Gilette discovered. Here we go. 5 out of 10 cities already. This should give us our second city, too, for the Cruising Wyoming event. So we are here at the home store to drop off our tableware. Let's see what kind of a parking we get. Last one wasn't too bad. So let's see what we can do here. And 90, okay. How do we do that? Do we approach it from the far side or from this side? I think it makes sense to go left. So we're going to go around it this way, even though it'll be a blind back. We're going to try to take it from the short side. We might be able to pull right into it. Although they tend to cramming around with trailers on either side of it in this game, in ATS anyway, so might be a little bit tricky, but we'll see what it looks like when we get there. If we need to do one more loop, we can do one more loop. Oh, it's a tight fit. No worries. Okay, what do we got here? Skip the parking. Where is it? Oh, it's on the other side of that trailer, right beside a trailer. Are you kidding me? Gosh, they're making it hard for us. Okay, so we got to go right into that spot. It's not too bad, actually, is it? Come right here like this and use our mirrors, right? Just wheel is a little bit loose here. Let's just take a look from the outside. We got to come forward a little bit, don't we? And then start up. It's not going to give it to us. We're off, aren't we? We're close. Close. So close, but not close enough. There we go. Not too bad. That was okay. So let's get our money here. Then we're going to see if we can pick up a load up to where Devil's Tower, I think Devil's Tower is, but if we can't, we'll just free drive it. 4,700. A little bit of experience to get us to 12, but not a ton. We'll take the money though. Don't think we had any fines. And now it's going to kind of putz around. That gives us 2 for Cruising Wyoming event too. So I'm going to see if I can find another delivery, but I'll be right back. So there is nothing good taking us up to Devil's Tower. So we're just going to drive it, free drive it. It's about an hour and 50 minutes from here. Hate to take no trailer in the back, but we'll make good time, I think. So we'll get on the highway, and then we'll do trivia questions number 4 and 5, and then we'll finish the episode, the scenic view of Devil's Tower. At least that's the plan, if it's in the place where I think it is. We might be going to the wrong place. I really don't know. I did look on a map, by the way, where it is, and I did look where Gilette was. I think they take a little bit of creative liberties when they're creating the maps for ATS, because things don't quite line up right. But I think this is really the only place it can be. So we'll see as we get on the highway, though, and then we'll start our trivia questions here. All right, let's do trivia questions number 5 and 6. Bypass the way station. That's good. Trivia questions number 5 and 6. Question number 5. So we mentioned it takes about 4 to 6 hours to climb up Devil's Tower. What is the fastest, the world record, to free climb it? A, 1 hour and 7 minutes. B, 2 hours and 21 minutes. C, 3 hours and 11 minutes. D, 18 minutes. That's question number 5. And let's go to question number 6. we paid our loan. Okay. Question number 6. How many people have died climbing Devils Tower? Talk about 5,000 to 6,000 people every year climb it. How many people have died? Answer A, 1,165. An average of 14 climbers per year have perished since 1937, but many fewer since the 1960s. B, 6. C, 127. D, 453, but none since 2011. Those are our final 2 questions. How have you done so far? We'll be back momentarily for the answers to questions 5 and 6. Alrighty, here we are, back for answers, questions number 5 and 6. The question number 5 was, what's the fastest to free climb the tower? Answer is it 1 hour and 7 minutes, 2 hours and 21 minutes, 3 hours and 11 minutes, or 18 minutes? Now, hopefully no one was silly enough to pick 18 minutes, because that would be like incredible, right? I mean, it's 857 feet straight up. Climbing it in 18 minutes would be nuts. So that's like the silly answer. I kind of even said I shouldn't even put that one in there. However, correct answer actually is 18 minutes. That's right. Todd Skinner, a climber who grew up and was born in Wyoming, actually, a world-famous climber, climbed it, free soloed it, so no ropes or protective gear, alone, climbed it in 18 minutes in the 1980s. Pretty amazing when you think about that. That's just nuts. It takes more people 4 to 5 hours, and he climbed it in 18 minutes. I would like to have seen that. I wonder if there's video of it. That would be pretty cool. Coincidentally, Todd Skinner was an amazing climber. He actually died climbing in Yellowstone Park. He had a fall. He fell 500 feet while rappelling down the side of a climb in Yellowstone Park many years after that. 2006, I think it was. Apparently, he was an amazing climber. I don't know that much about climbing, but from the stuff I saw and looking this up, it's like, wow, this guy was pretty good. Except, well, no, let's leave it. Yeah, well, he died. I mean, that's kind of sad, too. All right, let's go to question number 6, though. We kind of wander onto a little bit of onto darker topics. This is kind of dark too. How many people have died climbing Devils Tower? A, 1,165, B, 6, C, 127, or D, 453, but none since, there's a lot of cars here, by the way, since 2011. I can't go anywhere. It's one of these traffic spots. All right, that looks like the end of it. Once you call them out, they stop. Like if I say, come on, there's too many cars here, then they stop coming. All righty. Okay, so answer is B, 6. Only 6 people have died climbing the tower since the 1930s, when people were allowed to free climb it. 3 people climbing up and 3 people rappelling down are the deaths on it there. Pretty amazing. I thought there'd be way more than that. I mean, it's a pretty if you look at some of the pictures they put up here, it's kind of amazing to see these things and to think only 6 people have screwed up. But anyway, there's our trivia game. How did you do? Put down in the comments how many questions you got right. Now, it's traditional to not do all that well. The distractors are hard. The questions are hard. There's like no way you could know this stuff, right? I mean, it's pretty random stuff, so it's not like anyone's fault if you get like 1 or 2 or 3 right. And some of the distractors I think are kind of crafty. Like the Vitupi and Esker one, I just like totally made that up. So I don't even know what that. I don't even think that's a thing. I mean, no, an Esker is a thing, but I don't know. It's just Vitupi and Esker. I just made it up. So let me know how you did. Did you do pretty well? Did you learn something? What was your favorite question, kind of thing? And it looks like we got about 40 minutes left or so. We will keep going here, and then as we get to the monument, we'll stop and check out. I think there is actually a viewpoint there, and we'll check it out, and then we'll take a screenshot for the thumbnail for the video, and then we will wrap this episode up. So see you in a few minutes as we get closer to Devil's Tower. Oh, I see it straight ahead. It's behind these trees. Get around this corner. You should see it again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You can really go fast when you don't have a trailer here. That doesn't mean it's safe. You should see it right as we get around the corner to the left here. We're going to turn in right here. Where'd it go? I can't find it. I lost Devil's Tower. It's pretty incompetent. I think we turn left and we're going to see it right here. Boom! There it is! Ah, that's cool. Okay, so we got to drive in here to the little entryway to the park. This was, by the way, the first national monument in the United States, 1906. Theodore Roosevelt, that whole thing was the ceremony and the date, and Theodore Roosevelt being there was true. But I don't know if he actually was there. But that wasn't how the name got formed. So we need to find the viewpoint. Where's the? Oh, it's up ahead. Okay. Oh, there it is. I've actually been here. Took a family trip, and when the kids were a little bit smaller, to South Dakota, and we took a day trip up here. Climbed all around the whole base of the thing. It was quite cool. Well worth it if you're nearby. Let's check out the cutscene here. Now, the thing about these shafts there, it's described as being a kind of pencil shafts all the way up, just going up, all kind of held together by gravity. So they're thin, narrow columns that are all kind of fused together to make this. And apparently it's been over 200 years since one kind of has fallen off, although it looks like one should fall off any moment as you look at it and stuff like that. And you could see some of the pictures we saw climbing. You could see how they're like thin shafts of stone that go all the way up. We should show more of the tower here, but that's pretty cool. We made it. Devils Tower, our first viewpoint. So there's 10 you need for the achievement in the state, which is all of them. And we have got one of them right now. So there we go. I want to see more of the tower here. I've seen horses before. There we go. Oh, that's kind of cool. Boom. Yeah. Devils Tower. Welcome to Wyoming. Yeah. Take a picture of that too. Most excellent. So I'm going to drive forward a little bit here. I wonder if we can get any closer to this? Or is this kind of the end of the road here? Let's take a look at the map here. Oh yeah, this is it. So, whoops, am I still going? Nope. No. So I'm going to putz around with the truck here, but I think we can kind of wrap the episode up here. This brings us to the end of this one. Looking kind of next to go forward, we will probably, I might just drive over here to this Bushnell place. This looks like it looks like a cow. So it must be like maybe a stockyard or something. And we'll probably pick something up there. And I think we'll try to come up to Sheridan to get that city in and pick up that one. So a short one, then maybe down to Riverton or something like that. Probably do one standard delivery. And then our fourth Wyoming episode will be Wyoming State Trivia, which we have that ready. So, but I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, please consider subscribing. We do random trivia episodes every now and then, and we think of 3 planned now for Wyoming. So we'll see you on the next one. I'm going to try to do one again tomorrow night. So maybe 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know. We'll go do them until they don't make sense to do anymore. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day. We'll see you again in Wyoming.